I'm Reverend Father John Birungi Kitendere, born from Kasese Diocese, which doubles the district of Kasese, bordering the DRC Congo. I was born on 5th September 1960, and I was born by my parents, deceased now. My mother, to begin with, is Mrs. Mukokoma, Felista Vetswamba, and my late dad, Augustine Mukokoma, both of Karwe village, a small village like Nazareth. And for my education, I went for my primary school to begin with at Kasaga Primary School from P1 to P2. Later P3 to 4 at Nyakahia Primary School, and back to Kasanga Primary School from P5 to 7, where I completed my primary cycle of education. Then later I went for secondary education at Vrika Minor Seminary in Fort Portal Diocese for O-level. And for A-level, I was at Kitavi St. Francis Xavier Minor Seminary in Bushenyi District, where I completed my secondary school cycle of education. Then for my formation in the ministry, for major formation in the priesthood, I attended for philosophy Katigondo St. Aquinas Major Seminary in Katigondo, Masaka. Later Gaba St. Mary's Major Seminary for Theology. That was the completion of my cycle of formation, academia. And then I was ordained a deacon in Fort Portal Diocese, still under formation, and emerged the first ever priest of the Diocese of Kasese, which was carved from Fort Portal Diocese, ordained by Bishop Egidio Nkai Janabo, which marked a new chapter in my formation as the first priest of the Diocese of Kasese. Later, it was deemed right that I go for further studies in education. And I went to Makerere University to obtain a diploma in postgraduate diploma in education. After 1 year later, I went back for masters in educational management, still at Makerere University. That marked my cycle of education at the background as I speak now. So now, talking about the book, which is the one that is at stake in this studio, From the Womb to the Tomb. I was initially inspired by the manner in which I was born. I was born under cesarean section by through Dr. Baker at Oicha Hospital in the DRC Congo. And when I realized the manner, the circumstances surrounding my birth, I thought about writing a book that marks someone's existence from the womb to the tomb. You know, being born under cesarean section is a milestone to reckon with. It is miraculous. But it is a journey as well. It means there are challenges ahead. So this book, I committed a lot of challenges to it. It is some kind of a novel. It's a novel in form, but different stories, benchmarking someone's journey from the womb to the tomb. There are, for instance, stories about how someone, the manner in which someone is born. You know, we are all born, we start with the conception, inception in the womb, our womb, your mother's womb. And there are challenges involved. And when you are actually emerge from the womb, certainly there are challenges, and the traditional birth attendants, even midwives, know that kickstarting a born baby is really entails a struggle. And already at birth, there is a struggle. And as you journey from birth, there are emerging challenges from childhood through adolescent stages, and later, profession, if you are lucky to get to undertake a profession. Sometimes, you may also get challenges at work, and in many professions here and there. You and I belong to so many professions: the army, the judiciary. They have talked about the seminary formation. Some other people are police men and women in uniform, and even nurses and doctors. You name it, everywhere. We have all challenges. And in there, you have to see and know your source. Where do we emerge? Where do you start? Did you emerge from the stars, or there is a journey to reckon with? And therein is the gist of the book. We all experience challenges in life, whatsoever, of whatever nature. And I highlight so many of them in different ways. So it depicts different stories, interesting stories, if you may wish to borrow my word, that everyone has a story to tell in life. A soldier has a story to tell. A priest has a story to tell. A mother has a story to tell. A nun, a doctor, a president, even so many presidents. For instance, we are lucky we are going to get probably an emerging president from America, a black president. That person in that very status, that major status of the superpower, that person in the person of the one who's the candidate, female candidate, certainly has a story to have emerged from the womb. But then the story will go on and on until someone dies. So what do you tell the people? What story will emerge out of someone's journey from the womb to the tomb? There are many reports when at burial. Some are challenging stories, some are covered up, some are iced and spiced. Even ranks are covered up in order to show the status quo of someone's life individually, whether you are a simple citizen or you are a person of high status in society. So each one really, it depicts a journey from the womb to the tomb, and the challenges each one encounters along the way as you journey, from breastfeeding and then adolescent and so on and so forth, probably played in the mud, There is a thrilling story, a certain video tape, which was depicting childhood memories. Someone probably was playing in the mud, and that person who played in the mud emerges president, for instance. How do you look at that? How do you depict that? You and I have challenges from the womb to the tomb. But above all, who is in charge of your life as you journey from the womb to the tomb? The book says, let us remember our source. The mother is just a vehicle. The womb is a vehicle of delivery. But who is the sole master of our life when our existence on this earth? For me, basically, I say and I propose, and I would wish that you believe in it, I believe God is in charge. God is in charge of the womb at your conception. And as you journey, you should remember your source and always link up to your source so that your life is spiced up, God-given, to a happy conclusion, a good victory. Just like a soldier journeys, to victory. So from the womb to the tomb highlights such challenges. Interestingly, if you are interested, then you read a few chapters, for instance, those who are alcoholics, for instance. You end up probably becoming an alcoholic. How do you handle? Can you be redeemed later on? And who redeems you on the journey? You are a soldier, for instance, and you have a gun. Is the gun your God as you go? Okay, you are a doctor. Are the tools that you use in the theater, all the tablets that you administer to anyone that comes your way, is that your God? Is that your master? So this book reminds us that as we journey, we have to relate to the one in charge, the sole master of our existence, from the conception to when you kick, last clicking of your heartbeat. And if you want to be interested, read that book. You'll get many challenges. Thieves and criminals. Is someone born a criminal? You may find that one time or the other, you may not want to be that kind of person, and you need redemption. So, you might even be born a commoner. Does that relegate you to defeat in your life as you journey from the womb to the tomb? Some people began as beggars, and later on emerged as big people in office, in professions of different types. In all walks of life, no one is born exactly lucky, and no one is born exactly doomed, and no one ends in the grave doomed or luckier than the others. We all have a story to tell as we journey on, but we revolve all around our source, the major source being God. I would suggest that you and I always know our source. Yes, our mothers are our masters in one way or another when we are still in the womb. Probably your mother could have decided to abort you. For instance, if Yoweri Museveni was aborted by his mother, would we have Museveni around? And the book will tell you that it would have been wrong for anyone to commit abortion. Because basically, the one in charge of life is God. Such stories are there. What about people in business? And you are probably thriving in business. Would you wish to go along, in corruption, in matters of corruption? Or you would wish to be an honest business person, so that at the end of the day, after you have journeyed your life, there is a good story to tell, there is a good funeral report, that has done his journey right from conception. But remember, we all have ranks and we all have duties accompanying every rank at whatever level, beginning with the common person to the biggest person ever you may imagine. I don't know which other, this biggest person you would say. You might think of the President of America. But we have a president here. If you compare our president like Museveni with the President of America, isn't he ruling us here? So whether you are a president in a big capacity or a small president in a small capacity, for instance in African presidents, how do you handle your journey as you move along your life? Do you deliver on the grounds that you are governed by God, who is the sole master, who gives you victory ultimately, so that you may win with Christ? Because me, I am a Christian. Others are Muslims, you subscribe to this religion or the other. The book highlights such other challenges. It's not a religion book. It's a book of challenges at different levels, at different religions, creeds that you subscribe to. From the womb to the tomb is that book. To mention it all, in this studio, there is the director, called the director of this studio himself, Reverend Father Sunday Masoreka, who was my student as a practicing professional teacher, happily. And therefore, if you want to buy this book, you better get it on these numbers, and I want to read my numbers. It is 078 044 9739. I repeat, if you want to get this book, you can acquire it using this number, 078 044 9739. Or you can get it through the good stewardship of the director of this stadium, because he was my student and I'm proud of him. Thank you very much for having listened. Buy a copy and you will not regret. Please buy a copy and you will not regret having that book in your life. Thank you very much.